Am I audible now? Thank you very much. So, good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. This editorial is all about elections in the state of Uttar Pradesh. A familiar topic, a familiar context, but a lot of words are there which still not audible. No, now it should be audible. Yes. So, once again, the third time I'm telling good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. And this editorial is all about elections in the state of Uttar Pradesh, a familiar topic, a familiar context. Still, you may wonder, so why have you brought this one? There are a lot of words which are very important from the exam point of view. That is the reason why I had to bring this editorial. Besides the editorial, you're going to work on when it comes to exam topics, errors, fillers, as usual, editorial words. As I said, this editorial, already we have done a lot of editorials related to elections, but a familiar topic. But a lot of words, some words are very important. So that is the reason why I had to bring this particular editorial. Let us go to the vocabulary part of the editorial. The first one, and this editorial, you come across two or three idioms, and some of these idioms are quite familiar. I use regularly. The first one is an idiomatic expression. What is it? Die is cast. Usually, this die goes with printing. It goes with handlooms. It goes with printing, and this is an idiomatic expression. Die is cast. What does it mean? A process or course of action has been started. In this context, elections, the process of conducting elections has been started, and that it cannot be stopped or changed. Everything is in place. Elections are going to happen, and it cannot be stopped and cannot be changed. Die is cast. An important idiom. We have got the word campaigning. Campaign again goes with elections. When it comes to elections, we use words like constituency, contest, campaign, canvass, all these in the fray. Campaign work in an organized and active way towards a particular goal. It may go with other context, campaign against a particular policy, campaign against a particular habit or a particular practice. But in this context, it goes with elections. Brisk, door to door campaigning, one expression, door to door canvassing, another expression you have to recollect. And the word brisk we have got many a time. What does it mean? See, here I don't see you guys writing the meanings. If you write, when you come across a word, immediately you write the meaning of that particular word. If you know the meaning, that will help in the long run. And you become an active learner. But simply, this we have got so many times. What I expect from you, immediately you should write quick, active, energetic. You may not be able to write all the words, but at least the word quick. And also, you have to recollect the combinations I've given so many times. It goes with walk, it goes with business, brisk walk to walk quickly, and he is doing brisk business. Quickly, he is doing business. So, when you come across a particular word, you write immediately. Then, what happens? You will be able to consolidate, you will be able to remember, and that helps in the long run. I keep on telling, and you keep on listening. That is not active learning, and when you know the word, definitely you have to write for the sake of consolidation. Very good. Who is this? Sai Arvind. That's what I expect from you guys. Let us make it an active, interactive session. A resentment, we have got this many a time, though a bit difficult to recollect. Bitter indignation. There's one word, indignation. To feel indignated means to feel angry because or annoyed because you haven't been treated in a fair manner or you have not been treated fairly. Having been treated unfairly, then obviously you get annoyed. Plank, usually it goes with a wooden plank. A plank means a wooden piece, but plank also means the main principle on which it bases its policy. A particular party, in the context when it comes to elections. It the policy or the principles or the manifesto is based on something, and that is known as plank. An important word. Polarize, we have got a few times. If you take the world, in the past it was bipolar world. Bipolar means what? Two poles, two superpowers, right? The USSR and the USA. Now we don't have this USSR disintegrated. Now it is a unipolar world. Unipolar means only one superpower, that is the US. And polarize, from that you have the verb polarize, SC or ZE. It means what? To divide into two halves. You take a society, you take a group, and you try to polarize the people over there. It means you're trying to divide them into two groups. Overwhelmingly, we have got many a time. Very great in amount, something makes an impact to a great extent, then we use the word overwhelming, overwhelming response. Now, coming to alliance, usually this goes with marriage, it goes with parties, it goes with governments, it goes with organizations. A union or association formed for mutual benefit, and usually it has a dimension of mutual benefit. In the fray, that is a prepositional phrase, again, idiomatic expression, fray has got many meanings. But in this context, fray means a situation in which people or organizations compete forcefully. At the time of elections, there are a lot of parties contesting. Then we say they're all in the fray. Abetting. Abetting means what? Be next to something or to have a common boundary with. In this context, it has been used to convey the second meaning. What is that? To have a common boundary with. Hotspot, an important word, though we have got many a time. When I did a few editorials related to environment, we came across the word hotspot, a place of significant activity, danger, or violence. Hotspot. So that's what I've been doing every day. Who is this? Please check everything before you request. I've been providing the PDF the same way for the last 6 months. And please, whatever you wish to ask, let me complete the analysis, then you ask. Every day after the session, I provide the PDF. The same format, I provide the PDF. And you have a particular slide where you have the same format. I don't know why you're asking. Please provide these words in PDF format. After the session, please go to the description of the video. Looks like you are a new student. Please go to the description of the video. There you have the PDF link, or you can join the Telegram group, Murthy's English. There also I provide, and you can download the PDF, the whole thing, whatever you see, whatever you see, same thing you can get the PDF. This I have been doing for the last 6 months. So, hotspot, a place of significant activity, danger, or violence. Now, when I do this, try to focus on what you have already learned and try to write immediately so that you will be able to consolidate. Wean, we have got for the first time. Wane is different, wean is different. This is an important word. What does it mean? Be strongly influenced by something. You're influenced by something or something makes an impact on you. Then we say weaned by something. It takes a preposition by, especially from an early age, need not be especially. Major chunk I use regularly, major part of something, a thick solid piece of something, but generally major chunk means the major part of something. Stray. Usually it goes with animals, but sometimes it may domestic animals, but sometimes it may go with kids, stray children. Street children are also called stray children, but a typical combination stray dogs. Stray dogs means what? A domestic animal. Dog is a domestic animal found wandering, going here and there aimlessly, at large, or without an owner. A particular dog does not have an owner, then we say a stray dog. Emotive, we have got in the recent past, arousing or able to arouse intense feeling, emotive, in a way based on emotions. This I use regularly. I always tell my students when it comes to competitive exams, don't leave any stone unturned. Leave no stone unturned. I'm sure this is very familiar. Try every possible course of action in order to achieve something. When you want success, you want to achieve success, accomplish something, especially when it comes to a competitive exam, you should not leave any stone unturned, and you have to put in efforts in such a way that you touch every dimension. Override. Use one's authority to reject or cancel. You have the power, you have the authority, and someone takes a decision. You can, using your power or authority, you can override that. Means what? You can cancel or reject. Pitch usually goes with the voice, high pitch, low pitch, the degree of highness or lowness of a tone. But in the context of elections, the pitch means the tone, the idea, the emphasis on a particular aspect. Tinged, I think we have got recently, to add a slight amount of color or shade or a quality to something, tinged with something. Dent, to make a dent means to make an impact, and dent goes with everyday English. A slight hollow in a hard, even surface made by a blow or pressure. Usually, we talk about dents when it comes to a car or a bike. We talk about the dents. A rally we have got. Rally means what? A mass meeting of people making a political protest or showing support for a cause. See, this editorial, sometimes what happens, a familiar topic, elections, we have done many a time. In spite of that, the writer has used a lot of effective words and a few idioms. Definitely, these are very important from the exam point of view. And based on this, don't take anything for granted. Just because it is about elections, it does not mean that you have to ignore. There's so much to learn from this editorial. Now, let us go to the editorial. Die is cast. It is an idiomatic expression. What does it mean? A process, a course of action has been started and that it cannot be stopped or changed. Now, when it comes to elections in the state of Uttar Pradesh, everything is in place, the process initiated, and nothing can be changed, nothing can be touched. What is the main idea of this editorial? Uttar Pradesh goes to the polls with parties trying to mobilize people on communal and caste lines. So, in a way, this is the main idea of the editorial. Though it talks about elections, it talks about, you all know, when it comes to elections, every party has a manifesto and they try to woo the voters, promises, and so many things. And they try to get the votes based on certain established factors like caste, community, religion. So, this talks about UP goes to the polls with parties trying to mobilize people on communal and caste lines. Two aspects, two dimensions. Two dimensions are going to play a major role. One is communal and the other one is caste. As campaigning gets brisk, there are two words: campaigning, work in an organized and active way towards a particular goal. But in this context, it is nothing but canvassing, going to door, or organizing rallies, party meetings to get votes. So, as campaigning gets brisk, we have got the word brisk many a time. What does it mean? Brisk means quick, active, energetic. But generally, we say brisk means quick. As campaigning gets brisk for the first phase of polls in Uttar Pradesh on February 10th, the die has been cast. Die is cast, it is in present tense, a fact. But here, the die has been cast. Which tense is this? This is present perfect in passive voice. They have cast the die has been cast. And there's one important word over here in this idiom. When it comes to verbs, we have two types of verbs: regular, irregular. What is a regular verb takes D or ED? What is an irregular verb does not take D or ED? For example, pitch, pitched, pitched. That is a regular verb. Smile, smiled, smiled. A regular verb. Go, went, gone. Irregular. And there are certain verbs that have the same form, like cut, cut, cut. And those verbs are very important from the exam point of view. Here you have to recollect cast, 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 important, and based on that, broadcast, forecast, telecast, same forms. You should also recollect cost, COST. same form. Hurt, HURT, same form. So when you do this here in the live session, you see the word caste and you recollect and write all those words. What happens in the long run? You get benefited. You will be able to consolidate your knowledge. Coming to this, as campaigning gets brisk for the elections, the first phase on February 10th, obviously all the parties will be on the toes. They are very active and they try to go for campaigning. As campaigning gets brisk for the first phase of polls in Uttar Pradesh on February 10th, the die has been cast for the six phases to follow too. Total six phases, and on Feb 10th, the first phase, the die has been cast. It is in present perfect passive voice. The ruling Bharati, now it talks about obviously elections. Any editorial, any article, when it write, it is about elections. It has to talk about the parties, the manifesto, and what exactly, how they try to get the votes, all these aspects. It's a predictable editorial. The ruling Bharatiya Janata Party BJP is on the defensive in 58 seats in western Uttar Pradesh. Now, as of now, the present scenario, the ruling party is BJP. So when it comes to BJP, the ruling party, it says the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party is on the defensive in 58 seats in western Uttar Pradesh. 11 districts vote in the first phase. How many districts? These are all statistical data. In 2017, the last elections, the party had won 51 of these seats, later 52. So it talks about the number of seats won by the BJP party, which is in power right now. The challenge to the BJP's dominance comes primarily from the Samajwadi Party, Rashtriya Lok Dal, SP RLD alliance in this potato and sugarcane belt, but also in the fray are the Bahujan Samaj Party, BSP, and the Congress alongside recent entrants, the Aam Aadmi Party and the All India Majlis-e Ittehadul Muslimin, a new party. A lengthy sentence, but what does it talk about? Well, it talks about BJP is in power. Last time it got to 52, 51 plus 1, 52. Now it is trying to get 58 and its competitors. The challenge to the BJP's dominance comes from who are the competitors? It mentions all these parties. There are about four or five parties going to challenge the dominance of BJP in Uttar Pradesh. There are two words over here. One is alliance, marriage alliance, a typical combination, but here it means a union or association formed for mutual benefit between the parties. And in the fray, do remember, in the fray is a prepositional phrase. What does it mean? A situation in which people or organizations compete forcefully. In this context, we always say the party is in the fray. Many parties in the fray means what they're going to contest. Then it talks about other parties. The region abutting the national capital of Delhi. This is an important word, abutting. Abutting means what? Have a common boundary, one meaning, be next to, but generally we don't mean that. Abutting means have a common boundary with something, usually another state. Here it talks about the region abutting the national capital of Delhi was a hot spot of the farmers' agitation against the central government last year. We all know about the farmers' agitation last year. So, hot spot, an important word, a place of significant activity, danger, or violence. The SP RLD alliance draws its evident energy from the resentment against the BJP among Jats. The editorial says, here two things are going to play a major role or significant role. One is community, the other one is caste. So, coming to this communal aspects, the SP RLD alliance draws its evident energy. Draw in this context means to get. From the resentment, an important word, means what? Bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. Perhaps in Uttar Pradesh, Jats feel they have not been treated fairly. There is some sort of indignation, and cashing on that, SP RLD alliance wants to draw energy from that resentment against the BJP among Jats. And who are Jats? Basically, farming community. A farming community that had aligned with the party's Hindutva agenda in recent years. Perhaps they have not been treated properly in a fair manner. So these two parties, SP RLD alliance, they want to encash that situation. The BJP has put forth a plank of Suraksha, security, and Saman, dignity. Now, it talks about the strength of a particular party, the weakness of a particular party. When it comes to SPRLD, it talks about it is going to get, there is an advantage for that particular alliance in terms of support from Jats because they're not happy with BJP. Coming to BJP, the BJP has put forth a plank. Here, plank has many meanings. Basically, it means a wooden plank, a wooden piece. The main principle on which it bases its policy, it goes with the party. The BJP put forth a plank of Suraksha. Suraksha means what? Security. And Saman means what? Dignity. So these two concepts go with the BJP party. Taken aback by the momentum, another important expression I should have brought it in red. This is a quite familiar one. I was taken aback means what? Surprised a lot. Taken aback by the momentum of the SP RLD alliance. It is trying to polarize the elections so that Jat farmers who constitute an estimated 17% of the population in the region and who voted overwhelmingly for the party in the last elections do not unite with Muslims who constitute 26% of the population in the region. A lengthy sentence, but basically, what does it talk about? Now, it seems SP RLD Alliance, some sort of response, the momentum is there. Looking at that or surprised by that, BJP is trying to polarize. According to the editorial, do remember whatever I do here, objective, nothing is subjective. It is trying to polarize. Polarize an important word. What does it mean? Divide into two completely the elections so that Jat farmers who constitute an estimated 17% of the population in the region and who voted overwhelming, very great in amount. Last time Jats were with the BJP. Now some sort of resentment. Obviously, they are not going to support the BJP for the party in the last elections do not unite. They want to make sure Jats do not unite with Muslims. And Muslims percentage in the state of Uttar Pradesh, who constitute 26% of the population in the region. The BJP's behavior signals that it will leave no stone unturned to consolidate the Hindu votes and override caste tensions across the state. There are a few expressions, then I will talk about the sentence. First one, idiomatic expression, leave no stone unturned, means what? Try every possible course of action in order to achieve something. Consolidate, I use this regularly. What does it mean? Make something physically stronger or more solid. You learn something and you don't do anything about that. Definitely, you cannot consolidate your knowledge. That is the reason why I always say while listening, you come across a familiar word, you know the meaning, write the meaning immediately. You will be able to consolidate your knowledge. Here, leave no stone unturned to consolidate the Hindu votes and override. Override use one's authority to reject or cancel caste tensions across the state. Let us not take personal, please don't make, I have a request. When I bring an editorial, I bring keeping you guys in mind, your enrichment in mind, proficiency of English language, that in mind. And here we have to look at the editorial objectively, not subjectively. I don't make personal statements. I request you guys also not to make personal statements. Don't make statements against a particular party. And here try to focus on try to improve your language proficiency. That's what I would like to reiterate. The BJP is also trying to create a narrative. You got this word yesterday. Narrative means what? Story. You tell about a particular event or incident in a systematic way. Narration. that the SP scores poorly on law and order. Now it is like one party says this party is not good, that party is not good, and when it says that, it has to substantiate. The BJP is also trying to create a narrative that the SP scores poorly on law and order. When Samajwadi Party was in power, the law and order was not under control, perhaps. That's what BJP says. And the Yogi Adityanath government has been tough on crime in the last 5 years. So, quite opposite during the BJP regime. The law and order, again, this is very important. In English, usually we see two subjects joined with the conjunction like and we have to use a plural verb. But sometimes what happens, some words they're considered one unit, then we have to use a singular verb. Example, bread and butter, they're considered one unit. Slow and steady, one unit. And in English, again, we come across sometimes two synonyms are considered one unit. Here, law means order, order means law. But we have to use a singular verb. The law and order was under control, is under control. We don't use a plural verb. And that way, this is very important. The law and order pitch of the party is communally tinged. Means here, pitch means how they project the ideas or the manifesto, whatever, is communally tinged. According to the editorial, means the shade is there, communal shade is there. However, full stop. The party is highlighting government investment in highways, airports, and medical colleges. Here, the party means the BJP party. The editorial says it has the party is communally tinged, that is one thing, and contrasting information. The party is highlighting government investment in highways, airports, and medical colleges, and free vaccine and ration during the pandemic. The SP RLD alliance is targeting the ruling government on the farm crisis in the light of the farmers' agitation and is trying to build on the brotherhood among farmers across caste and religious barriers. Now, the editorial talks about the previous, a few sentences talk about BJP party. Now it talks about the SP RLD alliance. He is targeting the ruling government on the farm crisis in the light of the farmers' agitation and is trying to build on the brotherhood among farmers across caste and religious barriers. Irrespective of caste, irrespective of religion, they want to unite all the farmers. That's what they're trying to do. And brotherhood, an important word, you have to recollect fraternity. Fraternity means what? Brotherhood. Apart from Jats and Yadavs, it is expected to wean a chunk of Gurjars. Wean. This is an important word. Be strongly influenced by something. A chunk means a major portion of something. Gurjars, another agrarian community away from the BJP. So SP RLD Alliance wants to take farmers, all the farmers away from the BJP. It also wants to take Jats away from the BJP. And now one more group, it wants to take Gurjars, another agrarian community, away from the BJP. That is their strategy. It is raising issues of inflation, particularly high electricity tariffs, unemployment, and stray cattle, an outcome of the emotive cow protection drive. You all know today certain things have come into the limelight. So, based on that, sometime back there were some incidents of lynching, if you remember, based on this particular concept. It talks about when it comes to SPRLD alliance, how they are targeting the BJP party. It is raising issues of inflation, one thing, particularly high electricity tariffs, unemployment, another thing, and stray cattle. Stray means what? Does not belong to anyone. One meaning. Another meaning, you are in a group, you go away from the group, then you lost the way. Then also we say strayed a particular animal. But generally, stray dogs, they don't belong to anyone. Stray cattle, an outcome of the emotive, an important word, arousing or able to arouse intense feeling, cow protection drive, consolidating its vote bank in the name of Hindutva, cultural nationalism, the Ram temple, and Article 370. The BJP is also keen to make a dent in the BSP's Dalit vote bank to get over the losses made because of the farmers' agitation. When it comes to farmers' agitation, obviously the image of the party took a beating, and now it wants to get back the old image. For that, now it talks about the BJP party consolidating its vote bank in the name of Hindutva, cultural nationalism, the Ram Temple, and Article 370. The BJP is also keen to make a dent, an important word, a slight hollow in a hard, even surface made by a blow of pressure. But in this context, a dent in the BSP's Dalit vote bank means what? Make an impact, make an impact in the BSP's Dalit vote bank to get over the losses made because of farmers' agitation. Dalit leader and former Chief Minister Mayawati, BSP, has made a strong comeback with a rally in Agra. A rally we have got recently, a mass meeting of people, and hopes to win enough seats in the region to influence government formation. So it ends on that note, and a familiar topic, but a lot of words to learn from this. Let us go to the questions based on the editorial. What is this editorial about? You should be able to write. Easy to write. Where does the challenge to the BJP's dominance come primarily from? The challenge come from. Where does it come from? Easy to answer. Where does the SP RLD alliance draw its evident energy from? Those two parties, they draw energy from a particular source. What is that? What does the BJP behavior signal? BJP's behavior signals something. What is it? Again, the party behavior signal keywords. What are the issues raised by SP RLD alliance? You can easily answer. Please give me 2 minutes. You all know I'm an educator for an academy. So I would like to talk about my courses, obviously. I want you guys to give me 2 or 3 minutes. There at the outset, huge surprise coming soon from an academy. Wait for that, stay tuned. And if you take subscription, you all know an academy, number one company when it comes to online platform. And what are the benefits to become a student to enroll in one of my courses? You have to take plus subscription. What are the benefits of plus subscription? You can have a schedule that works for you, flexible, no language barrier, learn anytime, anywhere, interact with your educator. You can, during the live session, you can call me, you can talk to me, you can express your doubts. That's an important feature. Answer the live polls. When I take a particular session every day, there's a live poll, there's a question, and all the students respond immediately. There's a live poll, and you can see the score, class leaderboard, where you stand compared to others. Get your doubts cleared. You can ask doubts using one important feature: live tests and quizzes, detailed report and analysis about your performance against your competitors or the peers. Every lesson you get the PDFs and learning material. And you have to use Murthy 10. That is my referral code. But you have to look my profile, Venkata Korlapati. And today, my schedule, how to master parts of speech, special free class on Unacademy platform. It is at 6 p.m. Do remember to use Murthy sir, my referral code. And I would like to thank, yesterday the response was overwhelming for this particular session. 200 grammar rules I started. Today is the second session. It is again special free class. You don't have to pay on an academy platform. All that you have to do, 7:30, you have to use my referral code. First, you have to download an academy learner app. Then you go to SSC non-technical stream, look for Venkata Korlapati. Then you use my referral code. And here, one advantage, you can you can download after the session. A lot of students have asked me, sir, we would like to have the PDF related to 200 grammar rules. Here you can get the PDF after the session. You can get the PDF. That way you should be happy. And besides those sessions, I started a new course yesterday, complete course SSC, CHSL, and CGL. That is at 10 a.m. for 4 months, Tier 1, 2 months, Tier 2, 2 months. Everything is going to be touched. And 11:45, there is one practice batch, SSC, CHSL, and CGL. That is again both. You have to take plus subscription, only then you can access. Thank you. Now let us go to error location. Practice questions based on exam topics. Please look at the first one and try to. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, that is true. Protection has been given. One night, when Raman was about to sleep, he heard a rustling sound, rough sound, of leaves coming from outside. Very good. Who is this? Nagamani, the first one to respond. Question number one. One night, nothing wrong with that. When Raman was about to sleep, you don't have to go beyond. There is an error in the second part. We say about to. What is this question about? Preposition. Preposition is missing. About to sleep, about to do something, about to write, about to learn. Very good. On middle of the lake, there is a tiny island covered with trees and bushes. This is also an easy one, not an issue to answer. One reading you should be able to answer. See, 200 grammar rules, extremely useful for any competitive exam, for banks, for SSC, any competitive exam where you have English as one of the components and objective in nature. These 200 rules are extremely useful, indispensable. And these are, you can attend free classes with PDF. What more can you expect? After the session, you can have the PDF of the session with annotations, whatever I write, and simultaneously I bring questions based on previous year's papers, important questions. You guys have to make use of this particular, you have to attend, in my opinion, because 200 rules with the PDF, you don't have to pay anything, free classes, definitely a good opportunity. On the middle or in the middle, what will you say? Beyond this, you don't have to go in the middle of. Yes. Even this question is based on a prepositional phrase. What is this? Prepositional phrase. What is a phrase? A group of words that make sense but not complete sense, and it doesn't have a verb. On the contrary, what is a clause? A clause is also a group of words. It makes complete sense and always has a verb. Please go to question number 3. This company has been served a legal notice for using banned substances in the manufacture of its products. Where is the error? This is to some extent difficult. You got to be a little careful. Very good. Who is this? Sairam. Here you cannot use the word manufacture. You have to use the word in manufacturing. Manufacturing of. In the manufacturing of. That is again a prepositional phrase. But this question is based more on word forms. Right word, wrong form. In the manufacturing of. Question number 4. All coastal villages have been evacuated. That means people have been shifted from that particular place to prevent any losses of life due to the incoming cyclone. All coastal villages have been evacuated. And when you come across a question, first you have to look for the error. After that, you have to ask yourself, What else can I learn from this question? Very good. Who is this? Bharat. All coastal villages, nothing wrong, have been evacuated. Present perfect passive voice, no problem. Why? To prevent, nothing wrong. Infinitive, verb infinitive form with to. Any losses of life? No, there's a standard expression. Loss of life, we don't say losses. Loss of life due to the incoming cyclone, not upcoming. Incoming cyclone. Error, losses is not correct, loss. Again, it is based on word form. The reporter was arrested and his camera seized by the police after he entered the prohibited zone and started taking photos. Even this you should be able to answer one reading, not that difficult. Loss of life is a standard expression, standard phrase. And all these, if you read the paper every day, regularly for 6 months to 9 months, same expressions you come across in different competitive exams. The reporter was arrested, past tense passive voice, no problem, and his camera seized. Was seized is understood. Same verb, you don't have to repeat. And his camera was seized by the police, nothing wrong. After he entered, they should have used here after he had entered would have been better. But already two verbs in the past, one more also in the past. Entire context goes into the past. After he entered the prohibited zone and started, see here, started is not correct. Started, entered, started. Started taken or taking. Started something. Started what? Taking photos. Even this question is based on word forms. And here taking, it is a verb ing form used as a noun. Then what is a technical term for that? Gerund. Started taking photos, started running, started writing, started reading, started taking. And here it is a non-finite verb, gerund. The next set, fillers. 4 questions I have brought today, not too many exercises, practice questions, only error location, fillers, and editorial words. Technology, channels, be it internet or mobile, us get more information on new medicines. All the 5 correct, very good. One, nothing to worry, perhaps you are a new student. Slowly you will be able to improve. Don't get disappointed, don't get demotivated, and be optimistic. All things are difficult before they are easy. Perhaps you are new to this platform, new to English section. Slowly you will be able to improve. Technology, prepare, handicapped, enabled, channels. Seems this one, approved you cannot use, empowered you can, but mobile guides us. No, you cannot use this. And handicapped, no, the context is positive. Prepare channels, technology prepare channels, grammatically not correct. Technology enabled channels, be it internet or mobile, either internet, whether internet or mobile, help us get more information on new medicine. Technology enabled channels help us get more information on new medicines. Answer is the third one. Very good. In developing countries, farmers lack to irrigation and crop insurance, which aids in weather related risks. In developing countries, farmers lack something. What do they lack? And you have to consider when it comes to fillers, you have to consider one word before, one word after, and make sure grammatically and contextually they are correct. In developing countries, farmers lack what? Access to irrigation, seems right, and crop insurance, which aids in crop insurance, which this clause goes with crop insurance. That's why S to the verb. Crop insurance, which aids in Mitigating weather-related risks. Mitigate means what? Reduce. You should also think of words like alleviate, assuage, all related words. And let us check other options. Lack approach to irrigation, not correct. Entry to irrigation, not the right combination. Opportunities to irrigation, and you cannot use the word removing. Way, lack way to, not, these are not acceptable. Access to irrigation is the right word. And mitigate, suppress also. Reduce in a way, it has a positive connotation. The new scheme to catalyze the overall regional growth, which would be for both rural and urban areas of the country. This you got to read very carefully. Risk mitigation, yes, Prithvi Raja, good combination. Mitigating the risk mitigation. Very good. Who is this? Bharat, the first one. No, no, it is not the first one. You got to read this very carefully. The new scheme sought to. You cannot use the verb in the past form. Seeks to would be better. Prompts does not go with the context. Design, again, the subject is third person singular. You need the verb, sentence is in present. The verb should take either S or ES. Based on that, it should be either the first one or the fifth one. Aims to catalyze the overall regional growth. But instead of that, it should be intends to. Better expression, intends to catalyze the overall regional growth, which would be useful for both rural and urban areas of the country. Even this can be used, aims to catalyze the overall regional growth, which would be beneficial for both. Here, beneficial to would be better. Based on that, you should go for the fifth option. Question number 4. Or not the budget will lead to an increase in farm sector. Spending can only be answered when a detailed analysis of it is. Third option. Whether or not the budget will lead to an increase in farm sector spending can only be answered when a detailed analysis of it is available. It cannot be used, it or not, grammatically not correct, contextually not correct. Even or not, again, no. Either or not, these are not grammatically acceptable. Since or not, whether or not, that's a standard expression. Whether or not you're going to read, you're going to come, I'm not bothered, I'm bothered, it makes an impact. Whether or not, a standard expression. Whether or not the budget will lead to an increase in farm sector spending can only be answered when a detailed analysis of it is available. Obviously, answer is the third option. As I said today, I could bring only 3 exercises based on exam topics, so please go to editorial vocabulary. Try to write the part of speech and try to write the meaning. Brisk walk, brisk business. That means what? Adjective. Simple, brisk means what? Quick, active, energetic. But generally we say quick. A resentment, part of speech, noun. A feeling, indignant feeling because you have been treated unfairly. Where is this? Bitter indignation. For that, you can also say bitter indignation. Polarize. It is a verb, obviously. Polarize means what? Divide into two distinct groups. The society is divided into two groups. Then we say the society is polarized. Abetting, what is it? Abet, it is a verb, obviously, the verb ing form. What is the answer? Abetting means have a common boundary. It could also be a preposition. Have a common boundary. Answer is D. Wean, it is a verb. It's a regular verb. Be strongly influenced by someone from an early age need not be. A is the answer. Stray dog means adjective without an owner. Override, that is a verb, a regular verb. And what does it mean? Use one's authority to reject or cancel something. J is the answer. Tinged means to have a slight shade of something, add a slight amount of something, shade of something, and it's a verb. Tinge can be a noun, can be a verb, but here used as a verb means what? C. Campaign, campaigning. Campaign is a verb, campaigning. Obviously, canvassing. Here you have to recollect the confusing words. Canvas, singular S, it goes with painters, a rock cloth. Double S, campaigning, elections. Chunk, noun, a major chunk means what? A thick, solid piece of something, but major portion of something. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? That is very good, highly appreciable. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till 8:53. Have a nice weekend, nice day, nice weekend. And after the session, go to the description of the video, join Murthy's English Telegram group, and you can download the PDF. Matter of 2 minutes, I'll provide the PDF. If you cannot get there, you join the Telegram group. There also I provide the PDF. And try to work on important words. Today, there are so many words, in fact. Thank you very much. I will see you guys on Monday. Tomorrow there is no session. Monday to Friday, I thought, but today, because of an important editorial